Hello everybody, welcome back. YouTube.com/GeekAloud for another Let's Install. Today, Dying Light 2 Stay Human. Now note, it's the anniversary sale. It came out on the 4th of February last year, and the sale, 50% off sale, ends in 10 hours. So, if you're keen to check out the first-person shooter, parkour, survival, zombie slaying, first-person shooter / hack and slash game, Dying Light 2, which I finished, I rolled credit on it last year on the PlayStation 5 and absolutely love it. It's a fantastic game, top notch. If you love your parkour movement in games, that sort of thing, this game is, top tier of that. And as I said, for the next 10 hours, or by the time I get this up on YouTube, you've probably got more like 9 hours if you want to get it at half price. And I'm going to tell you, half price, in my opinion, is a steal. If you go back to last year's Gaming Enforcement Agency, the early February episodes, we were talking about, myself and Unky Dunky both went hands-on, both thoroughly enjoyed Dying Light 2. You can get our full thoughts on the Gaming Enforcement Agency from February last year. But today we're installing Dying Light 2 Stay Human on the Xbox Series X native version, and you can see over there it is a download size of 38.35 gigabytes. There's more DLC coming in the work. Techland supported Dying Light 1, which came out in 2015. They gave that game a full 5 years of DLC support, and there's no reason to suspect they won't give us 5 years of Dying Light 2's DLC support. So it's the base game that's available currently, but the point is you can get Dying Light 2 Stay Human on both the PlayStation and the Xbox for about the next 9 hours, we'll call it, for half price. And as I said, 2 big thumbs up. If you haven't checked it out yet, now is the perfect time to check out Dying Light 2. 38.35 gigabytes onto the Xbox Series X. PlayStation 5 install is available on the channel, but you've got to go back about a year's worth to get hold of that if you're interested. Also, the other thing is the Gaming Enforcement Agency, our weekly video gaming podcast, happens each and every Thursday night at 8 p.m. right here on Geek Aloud. It's now available on podcast services. So if you'd rather listen to your podcast through a podcast player, search up the Gaming Enforcement Agency and go ease on with our latest episode, which was 59. But this Thursday at 8 p.m. we'll be doing episode 60. Looking forward to it. Hopefully you are too. But for now, let's install Dying Light 2 Stay Human right here. Xbox, nope, youtube.com/GeekAloud. It's getting exciting now as the Xbox Series X finishes up the install of Dying Light 2 Stay Human. As we said at the top, currently on sale, but only about 9 hours, I'm guessing, by the time this gets posted on YouTube. You've got about 9 hours to get your hands on Dying Light 2 Stay Human from the Xbox Series X store at half price. In Australia, that's just under $50. It's $49.95 or $49.99, thereabouts. But whatever region you're in currently, it is on sale for half price. As I said, that is ending in but a few hours. So if you've ever been interested in Dying Light 2, I'd suggest now is the best time to get into it. And as I said at the top, Unky Dunky and myself both went hands-on with it and absolutely loved it. If you go back to the Gaming Enforcement Agency, our weekly video gaming podcast here on Geek Aloud from February last year, you can hear and see our full hands-on in-depth impressions and opinions of just how good this game is. Key features are, though, it's first person and there's parkour combat and there's a lot of melee combat. There's also weapons, but they're very late in the game. But early on, baseball bats, that sort of thing, craft your own, lumber, all the good stuff. Thank you for being a part of our community. My pleasure. Okay, so as you can see here, it's the full game install. We'll go into the options and we'll see if there's anything worth switching from the default settings. This is the first time booting the game up, so these are the default settings that we're seeing here today. Now, I have no issue with the head bob reduction, but Unky Dunky wasn't a big fan of it, so he's backed it off there. If the sort of bobbing camera, as I said, it's first-person parkour, so, you're jumping over things, sliding across roofs, that sort of stuff. If the bob gets a bit much, that's where you want to go to turn that off. But otherwise, I'd leave all those options on. HUD bar for me, I like them all. The only one I definitely have to turn off is the subtitles, but we're not there yet. As I said, these are all your options there, but I thought the defaults, were all just fine. Motion sickness reduction, I'd leave it off. However, if you're susceptible to motion sickness, go ahead and turn it off. And this is the key one for me. Subtitles off. I personally am very easily distracted and subtitles do me in every time, so I've got to turn them off. If pushing buttons very quickly is an issue, you can change the QuickTime events into a hold mode. If you've got colorblind issues, you've got an option there to change them out. Mono audio output's an option there if you want that as well. Standard fare for audio. The only thing that you may want to change is that to a home theater if you've been blessed with a home theater system. Unfortunately, not for me, but headphones high dynamic range suits the studio pretty well. All right, in video land, color grading normal, that's fine, but this is the key one here. I highly recommend you leave it in performance mode. That's a full 60 frames per second. The other option is resolution. I believe it goes up to 4K. Sorry, I'll flick it back. Resolution is up to 4K, however the frame rate drops way off, or at least it did on the PlayStation 5 version. I would never recommend resolution. And quality is where they try to get you a balance between a higher frame rate than 30 frames a second, but higher than 1080p 60 as is balanced. However, as I said, I recommend performance mode every day of the week. I think that, the highest frame rate is the most important thing in my opinion. Gamma HUD ceramic apparition, if I can say it, is the lens flare effect. When you pan past a light and you get that sort of blue or red, like the circle that expands. I like the look of it. Leave it on. Film grain effect off by default. I love that that's off by default. I would manually turn that off if it was on. The other thing I recommend, I don't like motion blur at all, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that all the way down to 0. I don't like that at all. And the other big one for me, personally, I love a massive field of view. I'm going to max it out, whatever it is. Looks like 20 in this game. Field of view, I say max it out. It gives you greater situational awareness. It's harder for enemies to sneak up on you if you've got that field of view cracked right out. That's what I recommend. Controller options there, nothing specific. Expert grappling hook controls. Now, I wouldn't turn this on. However, if you want to experience what it would be like to be Spider-Man, this game with expert grappling controls, it's on you as the player then to really nail your finger timing and everything. It's too complicated for me. My old man hands, the arthritis in the fingers, I can't pull it off. However, if you're a younger person and you want to feel like Spider-Man and really have that input as you grapple, that's the one for you. Turn it on, but I'll give it a miss. online game type. You can have it online multiplayer and have other people in your world. However, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. Dynamic cooperation, I would turn it off entirely. I don't want other people in my world messing with my stuff, but that's just me. But they are all the game settings. So that is a full and complete install of Dying Light 2. As I said, a year post-launch, but currently at 50% off on sale for that anniversary. On the Xbox Store, also on the PlayStation Store if you're there. But I can tell you on the Xbox Series X today, over there you will see it is currently version 1.0.9.1, and that is a full and complete install size of 38.6 gigabytes. Thank you very much for watching another Let's Install right here on Geek Aloud, and I invite you along to the Gaming Enforcement Agency. It's our weekly video gaming podcast here on Geek Aloud, Thursday nights, 8 p.m. for the live video live stream. Jump on into that YouTube chat with us in real time. Alternatively, if you can't make Thursday night at 8 p.m, you can catch it later on podcast services. All the podcast services, we're there. Just look up Gaming Enforcement Agency on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon. Anywhere you can get a podcast, you can look up the Gaming Enforcement Agency and you'll find us. But as I said, it's a live stream at 8 p.m. on a Thursday, but a few hours after that, once we go off air, it takes me a few hours to update the RSS feed and get the MP3 out. But I do it a couple of hours after. So check it out there. If you like, what else can you do with Geek Aloud? Like it, subscribe it, you'll never miss it.
Oh, that was luck. Hey, that's something. Oh, look out!
Free Fire Splash!
Old Uncle Donkey. Donkey.